Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Career and Growth series brought to you by the Yaka Initiative. This is our final episode on this season of the Career and Growth series. And it's special, number one, because it's the final. And then because of what we're going to be discussing today, I have an interesting guest with me, and I cannot wait for you to meet her. So, drum rolls! I'd like my guest to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Oz-Omozino Eguh. Most people call me Coach Oz. I am a behavioral scientist, a human capital investor, a teacher, a coach, and a product innovator. Yeah.
Amazing. Did you hear that? How many things does she say she is? Okay, so this is also special because we actually have a topic. We're not really going to be looking at the story behind her career, unlike we did with the others. What we're going to be doing is we're looking at a topic which is harnessing your talent as a young person. All right, so let's dive into this.
Okay.
Right. So first, I'd like you to share a bit of your journey and what has shaped your perspective on things.
Interesting question. I think I will start with two things. So the first thing, conviction I have is that talent is capital. And the second is that people are an asset class. So what that means is that your talent is valuable assets, and we human beings are valuable asset class. So a human being can be an asset or a liability depending on how much they harness that talent, which is like the unique deposit of capital that they have. And I think we underrate ourselves, to be honest, because tell me why. Why are people with a higher consciousness and higher consideration of understanding trying to mimic our intelligence, right? Expand the scope and the consciousness of our intelligence. Meanwhile, we who are primary carriers of the brain, who are primary carriers of these assets, we are not doing the work to invest in ourselves, right? So it's like people are building AI, right? But AI can't exist without human intelligence existing. So AI is trying to understand all the things we've done, all the things we can do, all the things we will do.
Wow.
Meanwhile, we are not even doing the work of investing to really understand who are we, what is our fit, what is our area of productive use, right? And how do we harness all of this, right, for better productivity, better economic growth? Quite frankly, the earth will be a jungle without humans, right? It will still be the Amazon Prime. Not Amazon Prime, but like you get what I mean, like the state of a jungle, unrefined. But because humans exist, right, we are harnessing that, we are evolving, we're finding better ways to do things, and we underrate ourselves still. So there's something that I have coined. It's called the law of productive use. That means that a thing can do many things, right? But there is the highest utility. Everything has its highest utility. For instance, a tree can be furniture that we're sitting on, can be construction, can be wood, can be many things, right?
Can be food.
Can be food,
Yeah.
right? But a tree's highest utility is it being seed planted in the ground, growing and providing oxygen and exchanging carbon monoxide. That is its highest utility, without which it exists. So the same thing for us, we have our area of highest utility, and we're not spending time to understand that. And so that's the pain area. Yeah.
You've actually said a lot. Talent is capital.
Yeah.
Humans are an asset class.
Yeah.
And then you went on to talk about the law of productive use.
Yeah.
And we just started. That's question number one. This is really, really interesting. Okay, so starting with identity, we're moving to the next question. How can a young person truly know and accept who they are beyond external expectations?
Identity is, for me, identity is always a weighty conversation because it's one of those things that has been mislabeled, misunderstood, and also over spiritualized. But when I think about identity, there are a couple of things or a couple of sources that I consider. The first source is safety and security. So, as a young person, your sense of identity will come from the areas where you have felt safest and secure, which is typically your home, your family. So, the degree to which you felt secure and safe and affirmed with your parents is the degree to which your identity is solidified. So, if you were in a home where you were, they saw a bit of your flavor of your essence and they're like, oh, good, this is so cool. Like, they affirmed you. You would see certain things about yourself as normal. You won't feel weird. You won't feel out of place. But if you're in a place where those things were, mocked or trivialized, right, you would feel awkward. So when other people externally are telling you, oh, you seem to be good at this, you'll be like, me, no, I don't want to. You really would be running away. And so as young adults, as even adults, we have a responsibility once we recognize that, okay, we didn't quite have the safety and security, affirming safety and security in our family, we have a duty to create that. And I call it our healing circles. We must curate our healing circles, friendships, relationships where you can exist and just be. And you know that, okay, I can do anyhow here, but in this place, I will be, what is good about me would be recognized and identified. What is not so great about me would be called out in love or even in harshness. But I will know that it's coming from a good place. Like I won't feel like I'm useless, right? And we need those healing circles because without those healing circles, we need areas that help us, enable us to get to understand who we are. So this thing about young people, we get to a stage where we rebel. It's like, what we're trying to say is that, see, for my community and my society, people I've surrounded myself with, all your definitions of me, I don't agree with because I don't believe that you are the safest and the secure place to affirm me. So I'm going to go into the world and figure out who I am. So the flip side to that conversation is that we're trying to do that and we then run into a lot of confusing ideologies, philosophies, mistakes that are not necessary.
Yeah.
So that's one dimension of identity. The second dimension of identity that we then as people need to start to ask questions about is, what are the areas people call us out for? I say, you are good at this, come and do it. And you're like, I don't like that. Why are you calling me for that? Why? I don't like it. It's so interesting. One of the things that people call me, and I started to call myself an employer of labor. Which is weird and interesting because I remember recently that in SS2 to SS1, SS2 to SS3, when they were picking prefects, they appointed me to be labor prefect. I ran. I said, please, just leave me where I am. Why will I will not be saying anything in the class. They'll say, you will be good for leadership position. And that thing has followed me for the longest. And I would always reject it and say, please, no, I don't want to just think that I will support you. And truly, I did that for whoever was the eventual labor prefect that was selected. I supported her, right? And I did everything. The same thing. You be good for the president. No. Just leave me. I will support the person that is there. And I would be the VP or I would be any other role, but don't just put me in the forefront. But I started to recognize, and that's why I said your healing circles are very important because they will begin to do the things or the identity repair, the esteem repair that you need to then recognize this second layer I'm talking about.
Interesting.
And begin to accept it that, okay, I remember moving to a new space and they just gathered, they said, you'll be the compound rep. I said, but I even left everybody that I know. You people don't know me. How? Is this written on my forehead? Like, what is, I don't like this. But I had to do it. I did it. And everywhere was peaceful just because I was in charge. Do you get that? So you have to recognize those areas where people naturally would nominate you for things, call you out for things that you don't like. Yeah. The other area, you have to start to pay attention to, and it requires a lot of introspection, is that you have to start to consider what are the things people hail you for. Like, you just say, oh, this you're really good at this. Like your strength is this. You know, when you come and you just the way you just organize everything, or the fact that I can talk to you and I just get clarity and insight, right? It's something I really enjoy about you. And you have to be okay with saying, okay, like, is there something that can be here and that can happen here? Juicy. And I wanted to mention this about talents because I don't know why we're in 2026 and singing, dancing, what's the other one? Singing, dancing, drawing is still what's recognized primarily in like young children, even to preteens, as talent. Perception is a talent. Curiosity is a talent. Creating order is a talent. Mobilizing is a talent. So we need to have to start to create new identity markers for what a talent is. Because there's some people that will never speak. There's some people that will never sing, draw, right?
But they're able to create order, just like you mentioned.
They're able to do so. Our vocabulary for talent has to expand. And then the last part when it comes to identity is really sitting down and writing out the areas where you've been misjudged, mislabeled, triggered, misunderstood. Those are pointers to the things that you value and the things that stress you, the things that you value. And you want to pay attention to that. So by the time you see that inventory, you should be good.
I hope I can do a good work remembering the 5 of these, but let me try. So the first one you mentioned was safety and security. And then the second thing that you went on to say is what are the things that people call you out for? The third thing you mentioned are the things that people hail you for. And then you mentioned the fourth one was new identity markers.
Around talent.
Around talent. And then finally, you said
areas where you're misunderstood.
Areas where awesome. So 5 things that people can begin to do in terms of discovering themselves and creating identity. This is beautiful. Like this is beautiful. Thank you so much. So now once someone begins to understand who they are, and so how can they now move to the next phase? That has to do with developing themselves and all that. So what's the next thing to do after this? Okay.
So I will start answering this question from this angle. Remember earlier I mentioned the law of productive use, that everything one thing can do many things, right? But there is an area where it has the highest utility, and you want to pay attention to the area of highest utility. When it comes to harnessing and developing, I think, and I used to be of the school of thought that your interest matters, right? But over time, I mean, if I can boast a little, I've spent a minimum of 40,000 hours when it comes to teaching and coaching. And over time, I'm just guiding people. And I noticed that fit is much more important than interest. Fit is a lot more powerful and a lot more stabilizing than interest. And the reason why I said this is this. If we give an example of the sun, its highest utility is shining, right? That is its role, right? Let me use another nature example. Of all the mammals, the monkey is the best person to climb the tree. It's the best mammal to climb the tree. Others can try, the cheetah, the leopard, but once that thing just flings itself, it's there at the highest, right? Now, in the company of monkeys, an orangutan is a better climber than a chimpanzee.
Interesting.
Right? Now, let's take it into industry context. In a pool of people who are maybe software engineers, there will be people who will be operating at the 10th percentile. There will be people who will be operating at the 50th percentile, right? So top 10, top 50. Now, what happens is that the guys in the top 10, they have the best affinity and best use. That means the better economic opportunities will come to them. They will find it easier and quicker to learn languages. They will find it easier and quicker to evolve with the industry. You know how technology can be very fast-paced, right? The guys at the 50 percentile, they will try, but they can't. There are some things that they can't. They
I like the
can't
way you said they will
harness.
try.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you have to be radically honest with, in this industry, in these things that I want to do, where am I on the spectrum? You have to be honest about. If you can be honest about that and say, okay, I'm on the spectrum here. Could it be that there will be another place where I would operate at that 10%? That means that I have a higher, better chance of surviving. Yes, as much as there's passion, there's purpose, you're competing. So
Yeah.
you must find your competitive advantage. You must find the place where you will pitch your tent and you know that you would attract opportunity. So it's not just about interests or passion, it's about fits, right? Where are you on that spectrum? So once you can answer that, once a young person can critically, honestly answer that, they'll be fine.
Okay, great. I really love what you said and the example that you gave. So, with respect to still, as a follow up on this last thing you mentioned about the 10% and the 50%, so how can a young person actually identify their genius zone, for to use that term? So, genius zone, things that they are naturally wired for.
Yeah, I understand the question. So remember we started this conversation, we said productive use, right? Productive use has 3 dimensions. That means there are a series of questions, there are a series of situations and circumstances that you easily recognize, right? Some people can see through it. Like you and I, we do career development in a way,
Yeah.
but you have a different flow to it. I have a different flow to it, right? People will come to me to narrow down. People will come to you for a different purpose, but we're in the same
Space,
ecosystem, right? It's the same thing with finding your area. You have to be clear on what are the problems that are just conspicuous to me, that I see it way clearly than other people. What are the opportunities that I'm able to spot better than other people, right? And sometimes it can be multiple things, but there's always a key problem that you're solving across those multiple areas that will help you say, okay, I think strategy is my own, or innovation is my thing, or I'm just going to be a pioneer, entrepreneurship will be my thing, or I'm going to be a 9-to-5 person. I would like to work for people to organize their systems and all of that. Because we will not all be pioneers, we'll not all be visionaries, right?
Yeah.
We have to be comfortable with playing our role. So that fit is
so
knowing your
important.
role and playing it per season, per time. There's a time to be a pioneer. If you are called to that, do that. If you are called to be the back-end person, enjoy that space, right? Because whether you're back-end or front-end, sorry.
It's okay to use those terms.
Whether you're working at the back-end or you're at the forefront, right?
Yeah.
Or you're a pioneer or you're an entrepreneur, there is a specific level of pain and suffering that comes with both each role, right?
Yeah.
So the moment the sun says, I'm not in the mood, I'm not going to shine today, we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
So the discipline of the sun to say, this is my role is to by 6, 7 a.m. I should start rising. And by 5, 6 p.m. I should start going down. I've done the work for today, I've provided my service for today. And I'll be disciplined enough to know that whether I like it or not, whether I'm in the mood or not, I will still rise. Because people are depending on me to answer that problem of sunlight, of light.
Yeah.
So do you see? Like there are problems, there are certain answers that you are the best person to answer it, right? And other people's lives won't make sense until you start to answer that question. And so some people call it purpose and whatnot. I hope we get into that. But like, you have to be okay with your role per time. Even just be disciplined with that first. Before you say, oh, there's a calling, there's something written on the sky, and I have to, do you get what I mean?
So being okay with your role per
Per
time,
time,
what you're
yeah.
doing per
Yeah.
time. I think this is really very important. And thank you so much. This is not your regular conversation, as you would have noticed. It's not your how did you go, how but as I said, we've zeroed down on how to harness your talent as a young person. Before we continue, I would like to ask this very interesting question. Right? It's taking us off our flow, but we'll come back.
Okay.
If we met your younger self, right, would they be surprised on who you've become? So this is taking us outside the flow. We'll come back. But I just want to know from you.
I think they would. To be honest, if I'm being honest, because when I was, you know how they would ask people, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always say, I don't know. I literally don't. Till I was 16, I was still blank. 16, 17, 18, I was still mostly blank.
Yeah.
But these things that I'm sharing, where I would just, I see, I can recognize these patterns. Why are people not seeing what I'm seeing? Like I'm seeing, why can't you see? And I'm like, can you see this thing? And they're like, oh, it's just you that is seeing that. I'm like, why am I seeing this and nobody's seeing it? Right? Why is this set of challenges conspicuous to me and nobody else? Right? So I wasn't the person that said I would be a lawyer. I didn't even like the law. What is the law? Please. I don't like medicine. I didn't like all those typical stuff. So I was always running away from responsibility. But yeah, that's another conversation.
Yeah. But here we are. Here we are. Amazing. Okay, so just coming back to continue our flow. How does a young person's environment or context, right? How does it affect their talent or how they grow up?
Environment. It's a big thing because it determines how far you can see and how far you can dream.
How far you can see and how far you can dream.
Yeah. So
Tell us
remember
about
when
that.
we're talking about like the sun playing its role consistently. The difference between the sun and us as human beings is that we have free will and we have reasoning. And so we have a choice. We can choose to play our role, we can choose not to. But either way, nature would not allow vacuum to exist. Somebody else would have to play that role. But sometimes we don't play our role because we're limited by what we can see or what we have seen. And so we need to expand our mind. Our mind is a garden. It's like, what do we plant? What do we sow in there? If all that I wake up to do, I open TikTok and I'm just saying, hello, everybody, they say it's violence. The best of my dreams would be like, oh, I want to be a streamer.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it might be working today, but the realities in the next 3-4 years might change. When you're doing your career preparation, whatever you're doing today is not going to harvest today. The fruit of it will show in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Industries shift, economies shift. So your preparation is not because of, oh, I want to harvest today. That's where we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And so we find out that what is relevant today, we're now out of season. It's like, okay, I don't know what to do with my life again. Because you were trying to maximize now. No, you're on a marathon race.
You're on a marathon.
You're on
I
a
think it's an
marathon.
interesting thing
You're
for
on a
people to just
marathon.
take.
Yeah, you're on a marathon race. Whatever you're doing today, the real harvest of it is going to show in the next 3 to 4 years. Right? So you can't, your career choices and trajectory cannot be trend-based. It has to be fit-based, and you have to obey that rule. You have to know it and you have to obey it. And you have to be responsible there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really, you mentioned fit earlier and now you are emphasizing it again. Okay, so this is great. Now there are a lot of ideas around destiny and purpose. I know you touched on that at the beginning and saying hopefully we can get into that. I just want to know, what are some myths, right, that you think young people will need to unlearn? I like that side. That side is necessary.
You know, when it comes to purpose is like a religious. It's now very religious. It's not a religious thing that, a even if you want to make it so simple and so accessible, people would fight you. Because what do you mean I have a role, I should not play my role, I should wake up in the morning, be a good child? If your role is to be a good child in this season, be a good child.
Thank you for
Please,
saying what you said. So in
please, will
that
you just
season,
be a good child? That's
Yeah.
all that you need to do. So for purpose, one of the myths is that there is a grandiose role that you have. So everybody's seeking, what's my purpose? Like,
Yeah.
what's that big thing I'm supposed to do? Or what's that great thing that I'm supposed to? And maybe I should share a personal story here. 16, if I told you, like, for most of my life, I was just blank. I'm just like, okay, but I'm a student now, so I'm going to be the best student that I can be, right?
Yeah.
And I was pretty much doing that. And so I went to a school where, purpose was like a big team. But every time I would try to meditate, I would just say the thoughts I have for you are good and not of you. I'm like, people are saying nations and all of this. What do you mean the thoughts you have towards me are good? Of course, it has to be good. But isn't there any specific thing that I'm supposed to do or something I'm supposed to hold on to, right? And I literally just had to interpret it as, at that time, like, whatever I'm doing, I should do it the best way that I can, and I should be channel. And literally, purpose is as simple as that. That there are gifts inside you, right? Which those gifts are answers to other people's dilemma, answers to other people's problems, groanings, prayers. If you don't answer that prayer, that means you're an answer to people's prayer, and it's your duty to obey and do that work. Take on the pain, the suffering, the sacrifice, the sense of responsibility to ensure that you answer that prayer. If not, your how do I put this now so that it lands well? If you don't play that role, if you decide to detach yourself from it, you are introducing death into your life. So we see a lot of people alive, but they are not alive.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because there's something there's an answer they're supposed to be providing every day to a set of problems every day
Yeah.
for a set of people, and primarily to make their life and their possibilities better.
Yeah.
Because we're all interconnected, right?
Yeah.
So if I do my work well, I'm an enabler for you to do your work well. You're an enabler for the young people to do their work well.
Yeah.
Do you understand this? So the moment we begin to recognize that there's a set of things I'm supposed to do, and if my role right now is to be a dutiful worker, I will do everything to enable this place and channel the value to the highest level possible for this organization to get where they need to get to. And when I know that my duty here is done, I will close it up and I will move to the next assignment. If we see purpose like that, I think a lot of the anxiety that comes with, I don't have clarity, I have clarity, I'm seeking, what should this be? Should I be on the moon? Should I be in the sun? Should I be on earth? Should I be under the...
So to summarize, purpose has to do with doing your duty at that time, in that season that you have.
Yeah.
Wow. This is
To
an
the highest,
amazing,
to the highest form,
amazing
the
way
highest
to look at
possibility,
it.
the highest good that you can do at that point in time, the highest value that you can provide it. That's your purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any other myth that you will want to dispel?
Or that you
In
do
line
what
with
you
destiny and purpose. Okay,
love.
do
You do
what
what you love,
okay.
and you never have to work a day in your life. I think that Steve Jobs, always going to be a fantastic quote, right? But I think that Steve Jobs was one of those guys that did all that he was wired to do. So I think we should retweak that quote and say, do what you are best fitted to do. And everything that you will be doing will not feel like it is hard work. But you will work. Right? You assuming that position will definitely come with work, will definitely come with a portion of suffering, it will definitely come with a portion of pain. I think people feel like your purpose is supposed to be easy. And then you're supposed to
Yeah.
like love your purpose or your assignment. Like it's supposed to be like this romantic love that you're like, oh, I'm
But
so
that's what
in
we
love.
see on social media now.
Oh,
When people take pictures, I'm living my best
oh
life. I just did.
no.
It looks very fancy.
If it's that, if it's that, let's even look at it. If that's the case, right? Then everything that people have created for us to enjoy, they won't be able to follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. The guys who created the airplane, the guys who invented modern day of cars, way we use cars, their obsession of providing the answer to that problem was higher than any pain or suffering that or failure that they would experience. That's what made them persevere.
Oh, true.
It's not the like. It's like, am I the dying type? Someone said, someone said that, oh, we just did this star, and they're like, Jesus is not the dying type. Like, was there fun in dying?
Yeah.
Do you
But there was
see?
something he
But there
had
was
to do.
something here. There was an answer he had to, and he was the best suited person to provide that answer. And he took the responsibility of that in obedience, right? That's not easy.
Not at all.
Uh-huh. So we have to start having the conversation of that. It's not a passion. Your passion is your purposeful passion is a weight, is a responsibility. It's not a vibe, right?
Yeah.
The same
It,
way
it, it feels like
yeah.
vibe in the
feels-
year 2026.
It feels, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Those who would do the real work, it's not vibe at all.
It really is. So when we were getting ready for this, you had mentioned there are questions that only you can answer. That is you as an individual. What are some of those questions that young people should start asking themselves?
I think first question you need to answer is, who am I?
Who am I?
And when I say who am I, is what are the things that are obvious to me that is not obvious to others? What are those things that feel like it just comes naturally for me? Like me, for instance, I'm very curious. I've always been curious all my life. My curiosity has always put me in problems. But my curiosity right now is what is enabling me to play excellently in different roles at different times, right? And in different seasons. So what are those things that come naturally? If you put me with, let's say, Billie Eilish, I mean, I can write songs, right? I can sing maybe a note or two, but I would never be as good as Billie Eilish. This is me just being honest, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like her. She's able to recognize music beyond just the normal level of do re mi fa sol. She's able to see levels and layers of meaning to the do re mi fa sol and runs and riffs and all of those things that I probably would not have an appreciation for, right? So what are those things that you like? What are those things that you can recognize so easily that people don't recognize? What are the ways you are happy to serve? I think we don't ask that question. We're just looking for, oh, how can I be elevated very quickly? Not how can I make another person's life easy. And that's like the secret. There's a secret there. Like, how can I serve people? Look at all of our favorite apps right now that we're using. Child Deck, Netflix. They're doing something for us. There's something that they're solving for us. They're serving us in a way, right? And so we should start to ask ourselves this question: how can I serve today? Like, I'm not doing much in this season of my life. Like, how best can I serve? And where can I serve? Who can I make their life easy? If you even ask, and I think this question helped me to get from a point of, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in my life, to, oh, okay, these are the series of questions or series of problems that I'm good at solving, series of value contribution that I can do, is just asking, who needs me? What can I do? Who can I serve? And who needs what I can do, even at a minimal level. I'm going there to go and do it. And then in answering that, I find the next chapter of myself like, oh, wow. Oh, interesting. Oh, jigger. And so just exploring yourself from that angle also.
Okay, so I want us to do a quick recap on the question. So who am I? How am I best suited to serve others? You also talked about what do I do best?
What I do naturally.
Yeah, and what are the things that people
that I can recognize that
you can
can't.
recognize that people cannot. Yeah, I think these are why I'm recapping on the questions is because these questions are they take you, as you said, to a different level. Because you said there are questions that people are the ones that I'm the only one that's there to answer those questions for myself. So when people look at these questions and ask themselves, they know that, oh, I'm the only one that can answer this. Some other people can tell me, but I know it well for myself. So it's important. Now, we're rounding up soon. Wow. So now we often hear, follow your passion. I want you to speak to that, right? You had mentioned to when we were preparing this on how passion can be an idol. So what do we do when people tell us to follow our passion?
I think that this is a very humbling one because I also was there. I'm a very passionate person. And you realize that the conversation around passion is really, when you look really at the root of it, is you trying to find a way to express all that is in you, not necessarily how you can be of value. So you're seeing a set of things that are going wrong. You're confident, or you feel that I'm the best person to provide this answer to this set of things, right? And so you're going all the way to make that answer provided. You're doing it with zeal, but without compassion. You're doing it with rigor, with energy, with discipline, but there is no love. And at the heart of every sound innovation is love and compassion.
At the heart of every sound innovation is love and compassion. This is not regular. Because many times you want to see things like, oh, I'm solving a problem, right? Or I'm doing something, I'm making money, I'm doing something. But at the heart of every sound innovation is love and compassion. Please continue.
And so with passion, you have the energy to start, but you will get to a point where you will crash and fall. Without love and compassion for the people that you say, you claim that you're so passionate. This problem, Nigeria education system is so annoying. We need to fix the curriculum. When you get to the end of your passion, you would then discover if it was about those people or if it was about you and the exaltation of yourself.
Interesting.
So passion is not bad because it can get you started.
Yeah.
But passion cannot take you the long way. It can't. And so if your reason for creating or for doing what you're doing is yourself, you'll be tired. You'll be like, the education is even bad before. So let all of us go home. Can we all go home? Sort yourself. Do you understand? You won't be able to stay with hard problems for long. And as a young person in Africa, right, and I think it's now even expanding globally, many of the problems that exist require you to stay with it for long. You have to be obsessed. Like the problem we recognize that I give up, and you win.
You need to sit through it.
You need to sit through it. And so what happens when it's not cracking open as you want to? That's why things start and die very quickly in our climb. You hear of this being alive today, you hear it's dead tomorrow.
Yeah. I would not say I heard of a particular company that shut down for interesting reasons. I don't want to give details anyway, but interesting reasons.
Love is the bedrock of sound innovation.
Yeah.
Like they will give, and it's so funny that they will give us a Albert Einstein 999 times the 1000. Do you think that it was passion?
It was bigger than that.
It was bigger than that. It was
Definitely.
bigger than that. Yeah.
Definitely. So I think this is not your, as I said earlier, this is not your regular conversation where you are elated and you're excited and you're hearing gems, obviously. But this is one of those conversations that you actually sit with your notepad and you're taking notes and deciding on some of the things that you're supposed to do, some of the changes that you're going to make, or some of the answers to questions. I like it's actually, it's intellectually heavy, if I can use that word. But we are rounding up very soon. And before we go to the last question, I really just wanted to mention. So if you've listened up to this point, kudos to you. So it's one of those conversations that you should listen to again, make notes, and really take decisions on the things you're going to do differently. So now, final question is this. For a young person, and that is why I had to go to the young person, for a young person who feels unsure about talent or direction, I just want you to give some pointers or basically one honest step. If you can give several, that would be nice. But if not, what is one honest step that they can take? That's a round of.
Shut your phone and sit down.
Shut your phone and sit down. My God.
Shut down your phone and sit down. Learn to sit in that quiet. It's uncomfortable, but you need it. Your mind needs it.
It is so apt because a few days
is-
ago, someone was telling me that social media has done something to us. Social media is beautiful, but it has done something to us. And if you want to know, you can check your phone to see how long you spend on apps.
I didn't even think that I was even going to say that shut your phone and sit down. The thing with that is your voice, your inner voice, you can't recognize your inner voice. A lot of people cannot recognize their inner voice anymore. So the chances that you are making decisions, your convictions, your beliefs, many things that you're acting on isn't coming from you.
It is coming from the things around you. You know, someone actually mentioned that. She said how if she stays with someone in her environment for a while, she takes on the behavior of that person. So now that you're sitting with your phone and many things, you know whose behavior you're taking on.
Exactly. Like, even if it's as simple as, oh, you're just listening to history channels, it's shaping you. But you must have time to sit down and begin to question everything. Okay, what do I really believe about money? And where did I what do I know think money is about? And what is it for? This is the perfect time to get those, because those are your seeds, those are your roots that will take roots and will anchor you when you hear many other things. That would be the first thing. The second thing I would say is, please build your healing circle.
I think this is so important. Building your healing circle.
Build it. Curate it. Curate people that enable you to, that recognize, that really see you and say, oh, I like this part about you. This part, it's not, I just like, sis, let me just tell you, like, you could do a little bit better here, right? And you know that they're not coming from they want to be better than you or want to, down you, right? They're coming from a place of love and you can listen to them. Your healing circle is so important.
People that believe the best in you. People that will tell you upfront, like they would be very, very real with you. So I think it's so important. It helps us to unlearn some things. You know, when you are in a group and you have conversations with people, you begin to see how their childhood differs from yours and how you can learn some things from, oh, this is how they do it. I didn't know this. Do you know the funny thing? I had a sleepover like some weeks back and then I learned something that I've started doing in a sleepover. At what age? But honestly, it happens.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This conversation,
Thank
as I
you
said,
for
is not
having
something,
me.
it's something to listen to again.
Thank you for
But
having
before
me.
we go, we have some things under our sleeves.
Okay.
And questions that I'm not the one that put them together, but I'll be
Okay.
asking them just to, don't worry. So
Okay,
they
no
are
problem.
light-hearted questions. They are
Okay.
just things to ask you. We want to find out a little bit about how your childhood has been. So now, okay.
Go for it.
What is the most, okay, so I'm going to give you this first.
Okay.
One is yes and the other is no.
Okay.
So you will need to first respond, right, to
With
tell
this
us if it's
first.
yes or no.
Okay.
So just show that, and then you can then answer. So now, have you ever pretended to be sleeping so nobody will send you on an errand?
Oh, are you in a Nigerian house? I don't get
Okay,
with
so-
a Nigerian mom. Oh my God.
Okay, so can you share with us one experience? of
Well,
how it
I
happened?
think my siblings are better off at remembering childhood memories than I am. But on many occasions, so first thing on the first, right? So you know that firstborn were the most responsible in the house, and you know your mom would, my mom would like, even now till now she still does it if I'm around. And other people are around, though, I'll be the first person she'll call. Hey, Mozino, please come downstairs. There are things in the car to carry up. I might be sleeping. I might even be in the dream, like receiving visions from God. I will wake up. I'm telling you, like that voice enters the dream world. I'm telling you, I would wake up and I would go downstairs to answer, even if my other siblings are there.
Wow.
Right? So that's I think it comes with the role of the firstborn, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so the second one is slightly related. Growing up, what is the most ridiculous? No. Let me ask you this. Growing up, so have you ever been sent on an errand and you used the opportunity to buy snacks for yourself? So give us your answer first.
I don't think I done that mischief. My mischief was a different flavor.
Like what?
Like I said, I grew up very curious. So I used to run like different experiments. So I mean nobody could indulge me. So I remember there was a day where I was looking at the freezer and I was like, why is this thing getting chilled? I was probably maybe like 6 or so. I'm like, how is it getting frosty inside? Let me lick it.
What did you lick? The freezer or the ice?
The ice in the freezer. My dear, let's not. I landed in the hospital.
My God.
So I would do
Wow.
very silly experiments. So why? Okay, I know the mouth is for food, but why can't it be the nose?
Wow.
I just,
My God.
and I would try to put a pellet of rice in my. I would be in the hospital. So like things like that were
Wow.
the areas. So at a point they were just like, they had to beat it out of me.
My God.
It was going to take my life. My own curiosity at that time would have taken my life. So yeah, that
Wow.
was nature. But for one errands and thing, that was not like something
Wow.
I
So
would
it was your curiosity.
curiosity.
Awesome. Your parents did a good work because look at you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on this episode. Right. So to everyone, as I said, this is a conversation that you need to go listen to, take notes, and make decisions. So do well to share. And we'd like to see your comments, like this, and subscribe. So let's say bye to everyone.
Bye.